Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 1, pilot episode of Ben and Ben Critique Your Photos. Photos or photographs? Ben and Ben Critique Your Pics. The way this is going to work is we're just going to be pulling up some images submitted by the community. So let me begin with this. We want to see your photographs. We'd love to give you feedback. We've got a link down in the notes where you can submit your pics. So do it there. Send them over. We'll see how many we can get through each episode. Let's see, what else did I miss? Here's the format. We're going to throw a picture up on this 4K projector, 120-inch screen, this guy right here, and we're going to do an initial gut reaction, and it is going to be polarizing. We're going to go thumbs down or we're going to go thumbs up, and then we're going to explain ourselves. Now, here's the deal. Thumbs down doesn't mean that it's complete rubbish. But it does mean this. There was a missed opportunity that we see in the photograph. That missed opportunity could be editing. We'll talk about that. That missed opportunity could be composition. We'll talk about that. The missed opportunity could be the empathy, the connection in the photograph. The missed opportunity could be the posing, the lighting. Like, we're going to talk. And I promise you, it is going to be really hard to get a thumbs up.
It's fair.
I think it's going to be hard for people to get thumbs up. So the majority of you are going to get thumbs down. I'm telling you this now so you don't get down on yourself. Then we'll discuss it. Like, really. The majority of my work is like thumbs down.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You know what I mean? It just is. So let's dive in. First picture. You ready?
Yeah.
We're going to do 3, 2, 1, and then we're going to peg it.
All
Ready?
right, let's do it.
3, 2, 1. I literally made a sound. I made a fart noise. Ben, I've been talking too much. You start.
No. All right. Where to even start here? I think the biggest thing here is the missed opportunity. Very like
in what missed opportunity for what?
For the potential of how incredible this could have been.
Yeah.
I see like this incredible skyline back there that looks unreal. And I would have loved to utilize that more in the composition instead of cutting it off.
Yeah.
I think it's even something scooting back further if possible, compressing in, getting lower, and framing them in within the buildings potentially. That's my initial gut reaction as far as the missed opportunity that you could have used with the city.
So you're talking about a lot of things that like could be like the what was.
Yeah.
I want to talk about what is.
Sure.
So let's address the what is and why I got a thumbs down. So for starters, let's just go completely basic. We've got like the horizon is like
tilted.
It's tilted. It's off axis.
Yeah.
We have a couple who is like in terms of framing. Let's go composition now.
Yeah.
So tilted axis, a couple that is as average as they could be. Meaning this, they are medium sized in the middle of the frame, kind of in this. Everything's very medium. It's all very average.
Expected. Yeah.
In terms of framing, like smack dab in the middle. And so either I'd love to see them fill that frame. I'd love to see them smaller in the frame, stepping back.
Yeah.
I'd love to see them lower or higher. Just like right now, it's just all very mediocre.
Yeah.
It looks like it's shot with maybe a 50 millimeter or a 35 millimeter. I'm going to go 50. 50-1.4. I'm just gonna guess that, but it's 50 millimeter, so it's an average focal length, average composition.
Yeah.
And so so we got compositionally. I think there was just issues there. From a lighting standpoint, we are looking at what appears to be. It's not on camera.
Yeah, because of the shadow.
It's coming off to the left.
Which she's broad lit.
Yeah. I think so. From a lighting standpoint, the light should technically always be flattering the girl, right? You want to be flattering that subject, and so it should be coming over his shoulder, and it should be short lighting her. The nose should always point towards the light. Right now, the nose is not pointing towards the light. If the nose is pointing towards the light, it would be over his shoulder, and it'd be hitting her face. It'd be a lot more flattering on her right there, and so it'd actually be moving that light off to the right if you're going to be lighting it that way. I think as well, just like balancing ambient light. With that flash. This flash is just like boom, it's hitting them, and you lose out on the opportunity. That's this ambient light, which is what you're talking about.
Yeah,
the skyline, the lights.
Yeah, almost looks like a city without power right now.
Yep. I do like the moment. Let's talk about things we like.
Yeah,
I like the moment. Yeah. She looks like she's about to be dropped. She's about to eat it. That dress is going to get grass stains on it. Yeah, she's like there. Yeah, he's got slippery fingers.
Yeah.
She looks scared. She was having a good time, but she's also terrified.
For sure.
No, I think, but I like that there was a moment happening.
For sure.
I just think maybe it's not the moment. Like, you know, there's always like the decisive moment people talk about. I don't know if this frame was the decisive moment, meaning the best expression on her face, the best point in the dip. I just said the breast point.
The breast, yeah.
It's a little, what's that test? The little Freudian slip or whatever. So the best point in the, the dip. So
one thing, even with dips, I feel like she's dipped a little bit too far potentially.
Yeah.
So if he would have pulled her up just a little bit and their faces could have had that connection, like their forehead to forehead while that dip's happening, it's going to have a way more romantic feel.
Yep.
Versus here, he's like has her as low as possible.
Totally agree. We need a laser pointer.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So we could just do that as well. That's another option.
Yeah.
Yeah, that space between their face. Okay, let's move on. We've gone far enough. I really appreciate you submitting.
Thank you.
And I'd love to see you keep submitting. Let's see if we can get a 5-star or not a 5-star, a
thumbs up.
Okay.
All right.
Very good. I know this. I know this image actually.
Yeah.
So let's go thumbs up or thumbs down. I'm thinking here. Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard. It's hard. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Yeah, this was hard.
Yeah, I know. I was right in between.
Actually,
Actually, not gonna lie, I waited to see what you did.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Wait, don't do that. You're just, like, that's no fun.
Okay.
Dude, like, that's no fun. To be your own. Okay, let me re-emphasize, restate, when we do thumbs down, it does not mean this is a bad photograph. Because this is a beautiful photograph. This is a gorgeous photograph. The couple's going to love it. It might even be in your portfolio. Like, I think it's gorgeous. What we're talking about is, from a gut level, were there opportunities that we see that were missed? Could there have been something you could have done a little bit better that that we're seeing kind of maybe a little bit more of? And so, because again,
this one's
beautiful, right?
It is.
It's good.
You can start with this one.
So before I begin, let me reemphasize: I love the light.
Yeah.
I love what's happening here. I love the couple. I do love exposure-wise, depth of field. I think it's really interesting. So the reason that it got a thumbs down from me, there's really one good reason for that. And that's like what's currently happening with the couple between one another right now. So they're close, but they're like they're at this perfect distance where like they either need to be closer in, or like there just needs to be like a little bit more connection, or even like the way that they're both looking at each other in the eyes right here. Like it almost feels like they're looking at each other in the eyes, but they're so close. Like they almost need to just like they're right at this liminal
head
state.
To like angle and just squeeze in a little because of the hat.
Just a slight angle or slight twist, or just like a little bit more. Like it almost looks to me like they were told to like, okay, get in close, look at each other, smile, or like, and I want to see a little bit more of movement or motion, or closer in, or a laugh, or a pull back, even if it's pull back, but like a cute laugh. But like they're just right in that middle zone.
For sure. I think even with our eyelashes down there, it'd just be more flattering and pretty.
Sure, but I love that. I love the smile. I love the interaction.
Yeah.
Maybe not eyelashes all the time. Maybe just looking at him in a way. So, what do you think? Why did you go thumbs up? Apart from
so kind of what you said, but the other reason is actually a little bit the editing. Initially, when I saw this image, I went straight to her hand because of how bright it is. Yeah. And so I think just like grabbing that brush in Lightroom and bringing the highlights down on her hand there, because it's the brightest part of the image. And
it's a lot brighter than her face.
Right,
yeah.
Like and so I want to be able to look straight at a photograph, instant glance, and like go straight to the reaction. Well, I went straight to that hand.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. The horizon line up at the top, it looks like maybe she's on there's some sort of wall there, parking garage. Slightly bothersome, because actually it looked like a framing, like a white frame. Yeah. And so either get the camera up a little higher and point down just a little bit more, or go lower and bring that line down below them. Yeah. But that doesn't bother me the most. No. I think it's the interaction. Yeah. Like even that, you can even tell, it feels like you can see a little notion of his arm right there. Yeah. And he's still...
It's like soft. It's not like...
He feels like he's holding her in a soft way. Like in not a very like... He's not really pulling her in. There isn't like as much energy. I want to see like more energy there. Yeah. I love her hand positioning though.
Yeah, I do too. Especially on his head with the hat. Yeah.
We're like, you guys...
Solid image
it's beautiful, but it's going to be hard. Yeah. Haley, what are your thoughts?
like it overall. It's a great image. I agree with the hand. I guess I didn't really notice it at first, but now that you mention it,
The brightness of
now
it?
that's all that I see.
I know, seriously, when we flipped to it, that's the first thing I went was the hand, which it's interesting, though, because the hands, like, there's so much story in the hands with his shaved head and the military.
Yeah, and maybe that's it too. Like they look like I want them to either be like so wrapped up in one another or just laughing, and they're kind of in this very media. Again, I just go back to it. It's very an average state because like I love the way she's holding him. I love that he's serving our country, but like it doesn't really tell a story. Like if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Next one.
All right. And then I've got a podcast here in a couple
10 minutes.
So.
Okay.
Okay.
This is interesting.
Is it an actual tilt shift?
Yeah, I don't think so because of the line. Could it be a Brenny?
No, it's not a Brenny. It's because his leg's out of focus. It's either a fake tilt shift or a real tilt shift.
Yeah, but why is that line crooked?
What line?
It
that
might
they're
just
standing
be
on.
like that.
It's actually like that. It juts out.
Oh, it comes this way. Oh, that's trippy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it is a real tilt shift.
Yeah.
I think
That's
it
the
is.
question.
Oh yeah, that is the question. But I think it is. Is this a real tilt shift? You guys decide. Comment down below. Real tilt shift. Image number 3. Real tilt shift or is it faux?
Yeah.
I think it's a real tilt shift.
All
Okay.
right.
So let's go.
Don't look at me this time. Don't cheat.
Okay. So 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone's gonna get a thumbs up.
Somebody
from
will.
us.
I believe in.
Do you really?
Yeah.
You kick us off.
Yeah. I think the first thing that bothers me is the pose. She like as a woman, she's straight on, and she wasn't posed in a way to make her look her best. So just like angling a little bit, tucking that knee across, something to help a girl out a little bit.
And you go ahead.
No, and while as the guy, he is actually angled a little bit, while guys want to look like as big, at least me, I like want to look as big and masculine as possible. And so like I feel like he should be the one more straight on, and she should have been the one more turned.
Yeah.
You can even see her two legs, or her 2 feet are pointed directly at the camera.
Yeah, he has more angle to him. And
Yeah.
you can still do this like hipstery pose, just like this. Actually, Haley, you and I did a shot like this at our 2 weddings ago together. You second shot with me. And you had him pose like this, and if you recall, it's that hipster look. Where you put him side by side, hold hands, just stand.
But if you're gonna do it, do it right
can,
though.
Yeah, but you can do this. But then remember how I just shifted her weight a little bit, so she was still like this, but I just tucked that knee across just a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think that's all that needs to happen. Essentially, is just a little contrapostal. Contrapostal is a term used. It's like when your weight is shifted to one foot, right? It's a contrapostal pose. And so her weight just needs to be shifted a little bit. They can still have this whole like hipster connection thing going on. So there's that. I think, I don't know. I'm glad that they did a tilt shift.
Yeah.
I think it's cool.
Yeah. I like the color in it.
Yeah, the color's great.
I think your eye goes directly to them. What else?
It's fun. It's good.
I just think that the posing is the biggest. That's the only reason that really made me choose thumbs down.
For me, it was the I'm not enamored by the composition. I'm enamored by kind of the space, but then the blue and then these spires at the top.
Yeah.
Don't really do it for me.
Yeah.
I'd almost like to see it just cropped in.
Yeah,
and get rid of that sky and just be like all stairs, almost go panoramic on it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I actually could think that would be really nice with the panoramic.
Yeah, I agree.
So
yeah, cool location though.
Yeah, let's move on.
Good use of symmetry.
Yeah, love the symmetry.
Yeah, just being aware of what you're handed. Cool. Next.
I think let me just say this. For me, I'm either looking for humanity, or I'm looking for wonder.
Yeah.
When I say humanity, I mean like emotional connection, like raw emotion. It doesn't have to be like joy, or it could be like sorrow. It could be like just like I want humanity. I want real. I want like some grit to it, or I just want complete freaking wonder. When I say wonder, sometimes this is like the super creative shots, the wow, the art. But it can also just be like something unknown, like I've never seen it before, like a new space. This is why Iceland tends to win all the time because it's like, when I say win, it's like it shows up in all these feeds because it's this wonder. The black sand, and you've never seen something like it. The waterfalls that you just like, it's just impressive, right? It's this wonder. And so to me, this space is not wonder. I think compositionally it's great, but it lacks wonder, and it certainly lacks humanity.
Mm-hmm.
Next one.
I agree.
The wonder's almost there. It's just not. Okay, cool. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Oh, we are just jerks. So the reason why is because you should have cropped this differently.
Yeah.
The sky gives no value.
Yeah, sky's
Literally, when this came up, I wanted to see 2 more decks up.
I know.
Or just punched in. And I actually like this snaking pipe that happens. And I'd love to see that used as like a leading line. Maybe the cobbles at the very top of the piping that goes. Or just crop.
I think just cropping in.
Just crop in.
Yeah.
Yep, crop in,
Yeah,
and then
cool.
the disconnect. It's just an unnecessary disconnect for the client.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the last one was, I got what you were going for. You were going for like the hipster holding hands connection, look the other way.
Yeah.
You know the pose. This is just this is, what would be the term? This is an irrational disconnect. This is a disconnect for disconnect's sake, and it doesn't do anything. Does that make sense? Like she's like holding on her arm, and then they're just kind of like,
yeah.
So that's it. Move on.
I wish they were in the middle. It's
I know, that's what I keep looking at. When
symmetry,
you
but
cropped it in, where would you?
You put them in the bottom left-hand corner.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just all the way
bottom
down here,
left-hand
right?
corner,
Yeah.
just a little bit. So you crop in, you take that little dragger thing, and then maybe a little bit more on the right, but they'd be in the bottom left-hand corner.
I want to see this shot. Whoever took this, I want you to reshoot this because I think it'd be really sweet. Just like the blacks and the white, because they stick out so hard.
Just do it
better. I even think scooting back a little bit or trying to get up with them on the same level potentially.
Yeah.
Or holding your camera up a little bit.
Yep. Okay, I got last one. I got to go in the portfolio.
Ooh.
Interesting.
That's a sweet spot.
Okay. You ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3. Okay. The missed opportunity for me here is off-camera lighting.
Yeah.
This is a shot that you could have done so much with off-camera lighting, in balance with the gift that you were given with this beautiful ambient light. The lights that you're seeing are they're all overexposed. Like to see that rain lit, all those colors that you have, and to be able to do maybe a flash, either behind them, you could light the wall and do a silhouette with it. I was just thinking, potentially just put the light pointing at them.
Yeah.
And just kind of focus on them and bring that ambient exposure down a little bit.
Yeah. Because I think by doing that, you're going to get rid of that distraction of whatever's behind them, whatever that box is.
Not only that, but like the floor does. The floor kills the shot a little bit. Like all the lights you see, you see where that light is coming from, and it takes away the wonder.
Yeah.
So imagine, put your hand over the bottom of the fountain there, like. Suddenly now this becomes a lot more interesting and almost confusing, and you're like intrigued
shot horizontally.
Maybe shot horizontally but I love that top ceiling. I love those lines, but it's interesting, and you don't really know what you're looking at, and it has a sense of awe or wonder to it.
Of course.
But now, once almost like the curtain's been revealed, it feels like a magician revealing his trick.
Yeah.
You see the water falling there. You see all this uplighting.
How the water's getting lit.
Yeah, and it removes that sense of wonder from the image, and now you're like, oh, they're in a hotel lobby, or you know what I mean, and then it's kind of taken away.
I think the other given is just the connection. Like you can tell his arms are all the way around her.
Yeah,
she kind of looks like she's choking him.
Yeah.
From back here.
Yeah, I could see that.
Maybe move her left arm, her hand on his arm.
Yeah. There should be just like,
or a little bit more, maybe more around the neck, a little bit more.
I think this is just like an image. You just pushed for that like intimacy so hard because it could have been so incredible.
Yeah, you just gotta tell him like,
dude,
pull her in, give her a squeeze, let her know you're there. Just like really bring that connection in close. Like push your hips together.
Yeah.
I always tell people like push your hips together. All right. I have to hop into a podcast. You guys, thank you for submitting these pictures. I know we just did 4 or 5 thumbs downs. it's going to be hard to get a thumbs up. Hopefully, as we talk this through, it once again, just because it's a thumbs down doesn't mean that it's a bad photograph. It's just that we're just looking for missed opportunities to see what we can do better. I think the time that we get a thumbs up, I'm going to be really disappointed. Because I'm going to be like, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure that you like, subscribe, ring the bell if you want. If you want your picture to get a thumbs down, make sure that you submit below. And I'm going to say this one more time. You guys, the majority of our work, we get a thumbs down too. This is the thing, like we're constantly getting better, and we're being really we really want to see you guys get better too. Go back to these locations.
Yeah, right.
Take these photographs again. Bring another couple there. Leveled up. Justin and Mary always talk about this. +1 your photograph. When you take a picture, look at it. Look at it in the back of the camera. Chimp that thing, and think to yourself, how can I make this better? What's one thing? Just one thing. +1. What's just one element? That if I do that, if I have his hand tuck her waist in a little bit more, it's going to make that picture better. If I step back and I change my focal length, it's going to make that picture better. Constantly thinking, how can I +1 that image? That's it. You guys, podcast time. I got to go. Hey, you guys. So I had to pop out to get into a podcast episode, waiting for my interviewee, person I'm interviewing, to show up. Here's what I want you guys to know. I think it'd be really fun. So we're going to alternate episodes. One episode we're going to critique your work. One episode on the next one we're going to critique each other's work. Ben's going to critique mine. I'm going to critique his. Just so you can understand.
So fun.
I think it's important for you to understand that this is how you get better. And just as ruthless as we were with some of these last images, and I say ruthless in terms of like when it's black and white, there's no middle ground. I want you guys to see what that's going to be like when we look at my work. And certainly when we look at this kid's work. So, deal? Deal.
Deal. Let's do it.